Ladies and gentlemen, this is Under Review, the most controversial show in the Major Arena Soccer League. My name is Phil Levanko. That is the head of officials for the MASL, Ryan Sigich. We take the most controversial decisions around the league, and Ryan gives his opinion. And Ryan, you are making me film on a Sunday. What kind of taskmaster are you?
Well, you said last week, Phil, we didn't have enough controversy, so we've got plenty this week to go after.
We've got about 39 plays in this show, right? All right, Ryan, right off the jump, we've got our most controversial play. This one goes to video review, a reckless tackle, in my opinion, on Drew Ruggles. It was given a blue and a yellow major penalty, but in my opinion, maybe this could have been a red card. Definitely reckless tackle, in my opinion. And I know the FIFA law says you need intent to injure, but maybe that's the reason why it didn't turn into a red.
Well, it's a very dangerous tackle. I'm not sure what Drew's doing here, but the difference for me is he does get contact with the ball, luckily. But I don't think that's irrelevant in this case because the 2-foot lunging tackles are not permitted. And if he misses the ball, then that has the high probability of injuring the opponent. That's when I would upgrade this to a red card. But, I think the referees here, Grady and Wilkins, correctly issued the blue plus yellow 7-minute major.
Another play here, Ryan, from the Soccer's Savage game. And I'll be honest, I don't love this one. Does Cesar Cerda need that windmill action? Probably not. But that's very light contact on video review to reverse whatever we're looking at on this play.
Well, Cerda gets his arm up high and he does make contact, but I agree with you. It's negligible and it's minimal contact. And I'd categorize this as careless, so nothing more than a foul to me. They get this one right too. The reaction by Chihuahua player there is just clear exaggeration. So the correct call is made of just foul only.
And I'm going to stay consistent with the last play here from the San Diego Chihuahua game. This play between Roberto Escalante and Tavoy Morgan. I'm just going to say play on, no reason to review, no calls needed.
Well, yeah, they get tied up in the penalty area, and then Tavoy, it looks like he's impeding Escalante's run to the bench, just trying to irritate things. And I think that's what's escalated is that, Roberto brings his left arm up deliberately into Tavoy's shoulder head area and then gives a light force, deliberate elbow to the back of Tavoy's head. I think that's what raises for the referee. So I can easily see the blue card for a 2-minute power play for that action.
Lots from this Kansas City ambush game, Ryan. Why we're working on a Sunday, I have no idea. Let's start here. Rayon Marquez turns his defender, goes down easy, sure, of course, but makes the referees make a decision, and I believe they got this correct call. This is a shootout, in my opinion.
I agree. Marquez gets wrapped up there by the defender. Had he not been held, he would have been on to goal. So even though the touch is a little heavy and it's a bit to the corner, there is just moving away from goal. I think this does deny an obvious goal scoring opportunity. It's inside the yellow line, and I agree with the blue card in shootout.
Ambush is challenging this foul on Araujo before a Kansas City goal. Brian, but in my opinion, I don't have a foul here. I know you do, so let me have it. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Well, you're not the only one that has no foul here. It's a tight judgment call. I think the referees thought it was legal shoulder contact during live play, and I can see that, However, on the VR, I think it is a foul. Ramon, I think he charges into his back. I don't see shoulder. I think that puts him on the ground, and Kansas City's off to goal. I personally would have disallowed the goal on this and called it as a foul.
Is this one of those polls you didn't invite me for?
Yes, that's another one.
30 seconds left in this game. You're going to have to explain this one to me. From these angles, I don't see a handball on Rayon Marquez. Wasn't originally called before going to the monitor. So, to me, not enough evidence to overturn the goal call. It never changes direction on its path. So for me, goal should have stood.
Yeah, fair point. It is a little difficult to tell. Is this clear and obvious? Probably not. However, I do think, my gut tells me this was handling by Marquez, and then he immediately scores the goal. So this is one of those attacker handballs. I'd say probably the correct call was to disallow the goal.
Okay, last one from this marathon game here. And lot to look at with about 28 seconds left to go, but we're looking at the foul from Will SK on number 91 on Kansas City. Not anything that has to do with Dylan Hundelt. He's wearing the 6th attacker jersey, so he acts as the goalie. Am I right in that?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Will loses the ball and then he takes down Holloman just as he's about to take a shot, or would have taken the shot on the empty net, with the goalkeeper out, the 6th attacker out. So this is the right call. I mean, this is a blue card in the shootout as it denies that obvious goal scoring opportunity because, like I said, that shot would have been taken.
All right, let's head off to Milwaukee now. Outlaws versus the Wave, first quarter, and we've got this really comical play, it must be said, by the Texas goal. Okay, let's ignore what the goalkeeper does right here. I know you're going to talk about it for a second, but this play goes to review, and you've got a foul here, Ryan? Explain it to me.
There is so much going on. This is one of the stranger plays of this year, I think, because there's so much going on and it happens very quickly. And I mean, it's a difficult decision as a referee because you do have so many things at play. I mean, the ball comes off the boards, hits the goalkeeper in the face, rolls down his chest, and I think that rolls onto his arm. So is the arm in a justifiable position? That's your first question. I think it is. So no handball for me. Not something we would call for that reason. But then the goalkeeper ends up on the ground, reaches up and grabs the attacker Steinwasser by the left knee. So now you got to ask, does that grab have impact on him going down? And is it inside or outside of the penalty area? And then is that blatant enough action of that grab to warrant a penalty kick or just a simple foul? So much going on here. My judgment on this is that I think that grab is blatant. It should have been a penalty kick and a 2-minute penalty against the goalkeeper. The referees here come out of this with just a simple foul. So, they get that aspect of it right, but they deem it just a simple foul, top of the arc free kick. But as I said, I think this is a penalty kick.
And one more play from this game. We've got another red card, this one on Max Ferdinand. Ryan, what is your interpretation of this play?
Well, I mean, it's not characteristic of Max for sure, but it is off the ball. It's a clear action. It's a cocked elbow that he swings it and he makes contact with the defender. So while there's not a lot of force in it, I think due to the action being deliberate, we can't ignore this. And I think it has to be a red card for violent conduct, which is the correct call that they made.
Last play of the show, mercifully for me, Stars Harrisburg. And Ryan, this one is pretty straightforward. This is a handball on Tyler John.
This one is pretty straightforward. The ball comes off the attacker's Tyler John's hand. It's in an unjustifiable position, and then he himself immediately scores a goal. So this is another one of the quote attacker handballs, and this goal was correctly disallowed and a good example of why we have VR in the MASL.
That's it for this marathon edition of Under Review. Ryan, I'm sure I'm going to blame you for this somehow, making me work on a Sunday, 14 plays. I don't know. I'll find something.
I get blamed for everything, Phil.